back to Tactical Elements, and today the fun really begins because we'll be looking at our first major tactical theme. Now from the first videos, I hope you got the sense that while making simple threats might win you the occasional piece, it's not really a reliable way to win games. You can't hope to compete against more experienced players this way, they'll just brush threats like this aside. The thing is, you'll never win a game if you don't threaten anything, but if simple single attacks are too easy to defend against, sidestep, or counter with an even bigger threat, what other kind of threats can we make? Are there threats that aren't so easy to avoid? Well, the answer to this is of course an emphatic yes, and in fact from here on that's all we'll be talking about through the rest of the series. In this video we'll have our first look at an idea that you'll be seeing again and again, not only in the videos to come, but anywhere you learn about chess tactics, and more often you'll start to see them in your own games as well. I'm talking about the double attack. In his book, Chess Tactics for Advanced Players, Grandmaster Yuri Averbach makes the case that, considered in the broadest sense, double attacks really form the basis of all chess tactics. Okay, so it may be some time before we're in a position to judge whether or not he's right about this, but it should help you appreciate the importance of the double attack in chess. We'll be looking at a lot of themes as we progress through this series, but it's no exaggeration to say the double attack is the single most important one to understand. A double attack is the result of a single move which creates two separate threats. It's not hard to see why this is so effective. Your opponent has two threats to respond to, but only one move in which to do it. Actually, it's possible to make 3 or more attacks in a single move, but the idea is the same here because all we really need to do is make one more attack than our opponent can meet. Chances are they'll only be able to meet one of them, leaving you free to see the other one through. To pull off a multiple attack, though, you also have only one move. So how is this done? Well, it can happen one of two ways. The first is to move a piece to a square where it attacks more than one of the opponent's pieces. This kind of attack is called a fork. Knights have a reputation for being particularly dangerous when it comes to forking attacks, and even experienced players can fall victim. But really any piece on the board can carry out this kind of double attack. Even, as we see here, the lowly pawn. With a simple advance it attacks both the bishop and knight. While white can choose to retreat one or the other piece, the best way to meet this may be to capture the pawn with the bishop. The pawn is defended by its companion, which quickly retakes the bishop, but at least white has cut its losses a little. The other type of double attack involves a discovered attack. A discovered attack happens when a line of attack from one of your pieces that had been blocked by one of your other pieces opens up when the blocking piece moves away. Now, this is still a simple single attack, but imagine that the second piece, the one that moved to open the line of attack for the first piece, also makes an attack of its own. Now we have a double attack. Now note here that the first piece, the one whose line of attack was initially blocked, must be either a bishop, rook, or queen. Pawns and kings just don't have the range, while knights can't be blocked in the first place. Now there's a related type of attack that sometimes gets lumped into the double attack category, the double check. It's what happens when two different pieces have the king in check at the same time, and it's always the result of a discovered attack. It's a powerful type of check because it's not possible to block or capture an attacking piece, as the king is still left in check from the second attacker. So the only way out of this ever is to move the king. Because they leave the opponent with so few options, double check is often a part of mating attacks. In a sense, though, double check doesn't count as the kind of double attack we're talking about because both attacks focus on the same point. The idea behind double attack is that each threat is separate so that your opponent can only deal with one. Now, whichever type of double attack we're talking about, you do still have to be careful. The mere fact you're making a double attack doesn't automatically guarantee success. Here, for example, the knight is attacking both the bishop and the rook, but the rook can move to where it's not only safe from the attack, but it defends the bishop as well. The knight can still take, but the exchange of material is even, so there's nothing gained in the attack. Another possibility is that your opponent may be able to move one attack piece to safety with a counterattacking move, and dealing with this counterattack will mean the second attack piece can escape as well. Here, for example, the pawn moves to fork knight and rook, but when the rook moves away with check, it prevents the knight from being captured, allowing it to escape next turn. So this wraps up our initial look at the double attack, but we're certainly not done with it. Because of the importance of the double attack, we'll devote the next video to looking at some examples taken from real games. Even as we move on with other themes in the future, you'll still be seeing it as part of or in combination with other ideas we'll be looking at. For now, you have a powerful concept that you can start to use in your own games, so take what you've learned and bring it to the board. For chessphere.com, I'm Joey Nandria.